when my fiancé Daniel proposed. I was overjoyed and immediately started planning the wedding of my dreams. The only problem was his mother, Diane, who never seemed to warm up to me from the very first dinner we had together. She would smile politely in front of Daniel, but the moment he stepped away, her tone would shift into something colder. At our engagement party, she pulled me aside and said she just wanted to make sure I understood what I was getting into, marrying into her family. I brushed it off as nerves, thinking maybe she just needed time to adjust to the idea of her only son getting married. Daniel insisted his mother loved me, and that she was simply protective. For the first few months of planning, Diane offered to help with the wedding budget, saying she wanted to contribute as a gift to us. I was touched and grateful, never once suspecting there was anything more behind her sudden generosity. Every time we met with vendors together, she complimented my choices in front of others. Yet later I would hear from Daniel that she had quietly suggested different vendors behind my back. Looking back now, I realized that generosity was never really about love. It was the beginning of something much more calculated than I could have imagined at the time. A few weeks into planning, strange things started happening. Our venue coordinator called to say the deposit payment had bounced, even though I knew for a fact the money had been transferred on time. When I mentioned this to Diane, she quickly offered to resend the payment herself, saying banks make mistakes sometimes. Then our caterer mentioned that someone, claiming to be family, had called to change our menu selections without telling us. Around the same time, Daniel's aunt let it slip that Diane had been telling relatives I came from a troubled family and that she worried about our future together. Daniel defended his mother every time, insisting she would never do anything to hurt us on purpose. I wanted to believe him, but the coincidences were piling up faster than I could explain them away. I even reached out to close friends of Diane, gently asking if anything seemed unusual, but everyone insisted she talked about the wedding with nothing but excitement. Every problem seemed to trace back to a conversation Diane had been part of, and every fix conveniently came from her as well. I started keeping a small notebook, writing down dates and details, every time something went wrong with the wedding planning, just in case I needed to prove a pattern later. The turning point came when I called our venue directly to confirm the final payment schedule. The manager mentioned casually that the original deposit had actually been refunded to the account it came from just one day after we paid it, and a new payment had come in under a different name 3 days later. That name was Diane's. My stomach dropped as I realized she had refunded our original payment to herself and then made a smaller payment to make. It looked like nothing was wrong, keeping the difference. I also called the caterer and florist directly, confirming that similar last-minute changes had been requested using Diane's private phone number instead of ours. I quietly pulled our bank statements and cross-referenced every transaction with the dates in my notebook. The pattern was undeniable. Diane had been quietly redirecting wedding funds into her own account for months, all while acting like the most generous mother-in-law in the world. I also found messages on Daniel's family group chat, accidentally left open on his laptop, where Diane had been telling relatives she hoped the wedding would fall apart before it drained the family finances any further. I sat there staring at the screen, feeling both furious and strangely calm, because I finally understood exactly what I was dealing with. Instead of confronting Diane privately where she could deny everything, I decided to present the truth where it would matter most. I organized a small family dinner 1 week before the wedding, inviting Daniel, his father, and Diane, under the excuse of finalizing seating arrangements. I brought printed bank statements, the venue's payment confirmation, and screenshots of the messages showing exactly what she had done and said. When I laid everything on the table calmly, Diane's confident expression disappeared almost instantly. She tried to explain it away as a misunderstanding about family finances, but the dates and her own name on the documents made denial impossible. Diane's husband sat quietly at first, visibly shocked, flipping through page after page of dated transactions that lined up perfectly with every incident I had recorded. Daniel sat in stunned silence, reading through months of proof that his mother had been sabotaging our wedding while pretending to support it. His father, visibly disappointed, asked her directly why she had done it, and she finally admitted she never wanted Daniel to marry someone outside the family's approved circle of friends. The room went completely silent as the truth settled over everyone at that table. Diane returned every dollar she had taken within the week, transferring it back with an apology that felt more like damage control than genuine remorse. Daniel later admitted he had noticed small warning signs himself over the years, but had always given his mother the benefit of the doubt out of loyalty. Daniel needed time to process what his mother had done, but he stood firmly by my side through the entire wedding, more determined than ever to build our life together. On our wedding day, Diane attended quietly, keeping her distance and offering only a brief congratulations before leaving early. It was not the fairy tale reconciliation people might hope for, but it gave us the peace we needed to move forward. Looking back, keeping that notebook of dates and details was the smartest thing I did during the entire process, because it turned my suspicion into proof I could actually use. If you ever feel like something is off with someone close to your partner, trust that feeling and start documenting quietly before you say anything out loud. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss the next one.